All right, we be live. Hello, everybody. Do you have my audio? Make sure you like the stream. Today, we're going to be reviewing, I hope, more than one video from people on TikTok with a really horrible anti-Jewish and anti-Israeli takes. And again, I tell you, these are spreading everywhere, and we need to smack each and every one of them. There's more videos being made than we have time to review. So if you want us to be able to continue these live streams and have a response for all this nonsense, anti-Israeli and anti-Zionist and anti-Jewish videos, if you think that this is a good work we're doing here, make sure you like the stream. That way you can support the show. By the way, all these videos have been picked by Dolly. Thank you so much, Dolly, for your service. And Dolly is also highlighting your comments. So thank you for that as well. Dolly is here highlighting your comments so that you could be part of the stream as well. It's not just my opinions. Your opinions are here. Oh, see, Dolly is here in the chat and she has hearts. So my audio is good, right? Everything is fine. Oh, yeah, good. People are saying like. People are saying that they like the stream. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, and we have 2 new members, which reminds me, I have to see if we're monetized. Let me refresh. So thank you, Nera Buffy, for being a member, and also Satiric Games. Well, thank you so much. 2 new members. We're monetized, which is good. We'll see if it remains that way. All right, so let me actually go like this, and then. All right, so let's go for the first video. And most of these videos I have not pre-watched. Okay, I'm just gonna watch these with you guys. Who needs to pre-watch these? They're too easy to respond to, and we can figure this out together here. Okay, we'll figure this out together. Oh, I need to actually make sure I have Dolly's explanation sheet. We have a spreadsheet. We're professionals here, right? So I need to make sure I have Dolly's explanation for each one of these videos so that we know what we're doing here. So that's not the right spreadsheet. This is the right spreadsheet. We have 2 different spreadsheets with Dolly. All right. So let's go with video number 1, which has gotten so many likes. I have no idea how these videos get so popular. So video number 1. Okay, here. This one. No, that's not the video. Oh, yes. From Khan Yunus to Rafah, an influencer asking why Palestinians are stuck in Rafah. And let me actually show what I want to do. I want to make sure that I don't get in trouble. So what I'm going to do is I will show you the TikTok account on the stream so that they get full credit. Okay. So this is the TikTok account. And this is the video that we're going to be reviewing. Okay. So let's see what she has to say.
Netanyahu is now demanding that Palestinians in Rafah evacuate. For months, Israel has been telling Palestinians in Gaza to evacuate south, to flee south, that if they go south, they will be safe. We have seen that that is a lie, but now, when they are at the furthest south they can go, Rafah is literally the furthest south in Gaza you can go, they are once again demanding Palestinians evacuate. There are 1.4 million Palestinians in Rafah right now. That is a 63 square kilometer piece of land. It is the most densely populated piece of land on this planet at this moment. And Israel is demanding that all 1.4 million Palestinians immediately leave. Now, they're not going to help them leave. They're not going to do anything to let them leave. But they are demanding that Palestinians either get out or stay and let Israel murder them. Those are the 2 options. This is genocide and ethnic cleansing encapsulated so clearly, so obviously. There is absolutely no argument to be had. This was calculated. This was planned. From the beginning, Palestinians have been saying it is so clear that Israel wants to move all Palestinians south and then give them the options of leave, get out, go to Egypt, or we're going to kill you. Those are the 2 things available to Palestinians in Rafah right now. 1.4 million people are being asked to enter forced exile never to return to their homes, to their land, or be murdered.
That was the most dishonest take I've ever seen in my life. I mean, not in my life, but one of it's really high up there. Holy crap! That was so bad faith. We're living in the upside down world. Okay, let's take this out one by one. Okay, let's go through this one by one. Okay, so
Netanyahu is now demanding that Palestinians in Rafah evacuate.
By the way, so here's the thing. Mentioning Netanyahu is, I think, by design here, because among a lot of people who support Israel, a lot of them don't like Netanyahu. A lot of Israelis don't like Netanyahu, right? So it's not just Netanyahu that is demanding these things, right? There are many people in Israel that agree with this plan. So Netanyahu, our disagreements with Netanyahu aside, this is the correct plan. So demanding that Palestinians in Rafah evacuate where?
Palestinians in Rafah evacuate.
Right?
For months, Israel has.
So evacuate. This is just by that. Okay, let's say all of this is just unjustified. Let's say that Israel is evil for asking Palestinians in Rafah to evacuate. Okay, compare that to the enemy. Imagine, guys, imagine if we lived in a world where Hamas, when they wanted to attack Israeli land, they will ask the civilians there to evacuate. I mean, just by the first few seconds of this video, you can see the difference between the Israeli side, okay, and the Hamas side. Did the civilians in Israel got a notice of to evacuate before Hamas entered Israel to attack? Right, so you could see. I mean, I hope this lady has spent nearly as much time criticizing. I mean, I what do you think is the chances, right? What do you guys think? Are the chances of this lady? Maybe she has. I don't know. Let me see. Criticizing Hamas. Let me see. Let's look at her account. Because Israelis never got a. Okay. Yeah, I doubt it. I doubt that she's criticizing Hamas in the way, because yeah, no, I don't think so. No, because Israelis didn't get a notice to evacuate before Hamas attacking. So again, seems like so far that's a win for Israel. Israel seems to be having an upper hand here in being the moral player. Okay, so let's continue.
Palestinians in Gaza to evacuate south, to flee south. That if they go south, they will be safe.
That's a lie. That's a lie. The idea. So here's the thing. They lie to make it look like Israel is lying, right? If you evacuate, you will not be safe. You will be safer. Obviously, you're not going to be safe, given that Hamas operatives and terrorists are all around there. And sometimes they are forced to take them out because they're hiding among you. Right? They're hiding. That sometimes they have to make a calculated decision and take them out, even though they're around civilians. Okay, but if that area that you're going in is not going to be under as heavy of a bombardment as the places that we're asking you to evacuate. So see the dishonesty here. The claim is not that if you evacuate this area, you will be in an area where you be safe. Obviously, you're not going to be safe. You're in a war zone. But it's good just because you're not going to be fully safe. That doesn't mean that there's no utility. It doesn't mean that there's no utility in telling you where the heavy bombardment is going to be. That is much more than the enemy of Israel is willing to do. The enemies of Israel go for maximum civilian casualties. Israel cannot go for no civilian casualty, but it is going for minimum civilian casualty. That's the difference between Israel and her enemies. Israel goes for minimum civilian casualties. Israel's enemies go for maximum civilian casualties. Even when you're trying to attack Israel, you're showing us how much better Israel is. You're trying to make this sound like a lie by Israel by changing what the statements are. Obviously, they're not saying that if you evacuate this area, you're going to be safe. How could they say that? Do you think that do you think like Hamas operatives are just going to be like, oh, go innocent civilians of Gaza, go to that area. We will stay in the heavy bombardment area, okay? But you go ahead. Obviously, they're going to come with you. And sometimes they're going to be identified. And sometimes, unfortunately, they have to be taken out. And sometimes that way, civilians will die, just like any war. But unlike any other war, so in every war, if you're asking for 0 civilian casualties, what you're asking for is for Israel not to defend itself. Because there is no war, almost no war, with 0 civilian casualties. So obviously civilians will die. You're asking the impossible from Israel because you're asking for Israel to just lay down and die. That's what you're asking. So in every war, we have civilian casualties. However, in this war, Israel has done something that you don't see in other wars. And what is that? Israel has gone out of its way more than any other country in the goddamn world, has taken measures more than even United States to reduce civilian casualties. The standards that Israel has, I'm not saying there's no mistakes. I'm not saying we don't have bad actors in the IDF, but no other army has done as much as the IDF, Israel's military, to reduce civilian casualties. Dropping leaflets, the bombs that the explosions that they do on top of the rooftop so that the people in the building could evacuate themselves. The people that they have in IDF that speak Arabic, that call buildings. The confirmations that they try to get. Even when it comes to attacking Hamas, where Hamas is blocking civilians from evacuating an area, Israelis attack Hamas so that they could open the area for Palestinian civilians to exit that area. Show me what other army in the world has done all of these things to try to reduce civilian casualties. If we have high civilian casualties, it's not because Israel is trying to make it so. It's because Hamas is trying to make it so. Blame the high number of civilian casualties on Hamas, not on Israel.
We have seen that is a lie. But now, when they are at the furthest south...
You are lying. Imagine lying to our face right now, saying that the claim was that you're going to be completely safe if you evacuate. You're lying to us, and then you claim Israel is lying. Fucking hypocrites.
That is a lie. But now, when they are at the furthest south they can go, Rafah is literally the furthest south in Gaza you can go. They are once again demanding Palestinians evacuate.
No, they're not demanding. Look at the vocabulary that this lady is using. They're telling you that if you stay in this area, you're more likely to have a bomb dropped on your head. What should the alternative be, lady? Not to tell them that? Not to tell them that? Do you want them not to be told that this is going to happen? Do you understand that will increase the civilian casualties? Do you understand that?
There are 1.4 million Palestinians in Rafah right now. That is a 63 square kilometer piece of land. It is the most densely populated piece of land on this planet at this moment. And Israel is demanding that all 1.4 million Palestinians immediately leave. Now, they're not going to help them leave.
What is the to help them leave? Okay, first, what is the alternative? Obviously, they have to attack Rafah. Obviously, the military objective was to remove Hamas, the correct military objective, which Netanyahu has failed to define, the proper military objective would be to mention to the world is to not to completely annihilate Hamas, because that seems to be impossible, but to remove their ability to rule over Gaza. That is the military objective. That is a well-defined military objective, right? And obviously, that will not happen if you finalize the job in Rafah. Like you're attacking Gaza to remove Hamas from power. Well, you have gone all the way. You have to finish the job. If you don't finish the job, we would have to do this thing all over again at some point. And guess what? That would mean more civilian casualties. If you don't finish the job, you have to re-enter Gaza at some point in the future. And as bad as the civilian casualties are right now, it will be more if you don't finish the job right now. Hamas needs to be removed from power. So for the sake of civilian lives, for the sake of reducing civilian casualties, let Israel finish the goddamn job. So if they want to finish the job, what are the alternatives Israel has? To tell the Palestinians that we're going to bombard this area, or not to tell them? Yes, which one of them is going to end in more civilian casualties, Leti? And look at what she's demanding. They're not going to help them move. What do you mean help them move? Do you want them to carry them? How would that? Can you explain the military operation that will require? They have literally gone and put their lives at risk to attack Hamas militants that were blocking Palestinians from moving. That's considered helping. What do you mean they're not going to move? Do you want them to like send IDF soldiers to carry them while Hamas members are there? What they're doing, look, it will never be enough. What they're doing is already more than any other military in the world. And she's still demanding more. Like they're not going to help them move. Please explain in detail the military operations that you're asking for, because I'm open to criticism. If you can think of something that will not jeopardize the military operations, the goals of the IDF, and at the same time reduce civilian casualties, please let me know, because we are all waiting for that. We all want that. I will criticize Israel better than you guys if you could show me a method that will reduce civilian casualties, but also keep the military objective achievable. But I've seen people like you, nothing will be enough. The only thing Israel could do for you guys to be satisfied is to lay down their weapons and let them be killed by terrorists. That's the only thing that will satisfy you. Any form of other defense by Israel, you will condemn it.
They're not going to do anything to let them leave, but they are demanding that Palestinians
let them leave. What do you mean they're not going to do anything to let them leave? It's Hamas that blocks their way from leaving. Let them leave. What are you talking about? Israel wants them to be able to leave. Are they blocking them? Israel is not blocking their ways. It's Hamas that blocks their ways from leaving, because it's Hamas that wants Palestinians to be under heavy bombardment, because it's Hamas that is invested in Palestinian blood. I see the super chat. I will read it after. Wait, let me actually see if it's relevant. Oh, thank you so much. It is saying, thank you, Armin. I am Jewish from Israel. You are a glimmer of hope in dark times. Thank you for standing for the truth. You are brave. Love from Israel. Well, thank you so much for the support for Israel. However, I don't think I'm very brave, because I don't see that much of a risk to me. But thank you. Oh, sorry. I should let Dolly do this thing. Sorry, Dolly. I shouldn't interfere with your work. All right, let's continue.
either get out or stay and let Israel murder them.
Let Israel murder. Look at the dishonesty. Either get out or stay and let Israel murder them. As if they're the target. What a dishonest take. Israel is not trying to kill the civilians. What is the point? Even if Israel, let's say Israel is like evil and like, oh yeah, civilians. What object? Even from a pragmatic point of view, Israel gets no benefit out of killing civilians in Gaza. Even if they had no morality, even if they were evil, there is political cost associated with more civilian casualties in Gaza. Why would they do that? They're not trying to murder them. They're trying to take out the Hamas operatives. The Gazans are there as shields for Hamas. Why would Israel try to murder them? What is this on stake? Do you understand the way that you use language? It makes it seem as if Israel is going in there to try to kill the civilians. Why would you say that? Why don't we say that about any other military? Any other military, when they conduct war, civilians die. Even if the civilians were not the targets, which most of the time they're not. Civilians are not the targets, but show me a war that has no civilian casualties. Why do we not frame that as the military murdering the civilians? But we do that for Israel. What is so different about the Israels? Why do we hold Israel to much higher standards than we hold any other country in the world? Is it because they're Jewish? Because I think it has something to do with them being Jewish.
These are the two options. This is genocide and ethnic cleansing encapsulated so clearly, so obviously.
It is, you're right. It is. From you, this is genocide. This is genocidal. You are the one who's being genocidal. When you are having such high standards on Israel, standards that are impossible to meet, when a terrorist organization committed an act of genocide on Israel, and you are basically putting standards on Israel that are impossible to meet, you are basically asking Israel to just let it happen. You are supporting, it's not Israel that is committing an act of genocide, it's you who are supporting a genocide on Jews. That's what you're doing. Because no country in the world will be able to meet the standard when it comes to defending itself.
Cleansing encapsulated so clearly, so obviously. There is absolutely no argument to be had. This was calculated. This was planned. From the beginning, Palestinians have been saying it is so clear that
this was planned? How was this planned? Was October 7th planned? Are you saying this was planned? Let me see. Actually, let me make a point. What was planned? Are the Jews controlling everything? Is that what you're saying?
Have been saying it is so clear that Israel wants to move all Palestinians south and then give them the options of leave, get out, go to Egypt, or we're going to kill you. Those are the two things available to Palestinians right now. 1.4 million people are being asked to enter forced exile.
That's not what they're saying. That's not what they're saying. Okay, here's the thing. I will admit this to you, okay? Because just like every other country, Israel is a diverse country with many group of people that are asking for many different things, right? So there are people in Israel who want that. There are people who are in Israel who want all the Gazans to go to Egypt. I've seen them. Just like, because there are people with all kinds of views in Israel, right? However, what would it look like, okay, if IDF was not trying to push for that? What would it, like you're saying it's so clear, as if this is the plan of everybody. If the IDF was going from north to south and was trying to take out Hamas, and obviously before they send in the soldiers, they have to do aerial bombardment, just like any other military would, before they send them their troops in, the ground force in, right? Eventually they had to get to the south, and every time they're doing bombardments, they have to tell people that we're going to do this because they have a higher standard than their enemies. So this would have eventually happened. let's say right now, here's the thing, lady. Let's say right now, you're right. This was a planned, this whole thing was planned to push the Gazans into Egypt. But what would it look like in an alternative universe where that was not the plan? Wouldn't it look still like this, given that they had to go from north to south and finish the operations in the south? Wouldn't it look identical? So how do you know what is the plan? Here's the thing. I'm not even saying that will not eventually happen. Maybe that will happen. Seems unlikely, but it could. I don't know. But how could you tell? Oh, Susie just became a member. Susie had a point up there that I wanted to read because I don't know what she said. Thank you, Susie, for becoming a member of your own organization. Dolly, can you star Susie's point? Because when I'm ranting, I can't read it, but I want to go back to it.
Never to return to their homes, to their land, or be murdered.
Okay, so let me... Oh, there we go. Is this... This person is like famous, huh? It's not double standard. Oh, yeah, it's not double standard. So somebody, which I can't pronounce, Carolyn Glick, said it's not double standard. It is one standard that only Israel is held to. Yes. Well, that would make it double standard. But yeah, I can see. Exactly. But why? Why, guys? Why? 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 Why Israel? Do you know right now, as we speak, there are wars happening in other places in the world? Do you know, as we speak right now, these are not, when it comes to victims of war, the people in Palestine are not the worse off as we speak. Not that their situation does not require attention. It does. Okay? And do you know they're not even the only Muslims that are in this horrible of a situation as victims of war. Okay? And do you know in other places where Muslims are being killed as we speak right now, okay? The army that is doing that to them does not have such standards that Israel has. So why? Why are we deciding to focus on Israel? Am I wrong to think it has something to do with them being Jews? Because I don't see any other thing. There's if you give me one other thing. I have gone through the list of things that they could be, and they apply to other countries. So what is it? Am I being so unreasonable to think it is because they're Jews? Let me know. Okay, let's go to the next video. By the way, guys, this video that we just watched got 746,000. Did you think I'm going to say views? No. Likes. I don't even know where I can see the views on TikTok on the screen. Comments are turned off. Guys, can somebody tell me why I can't see the... Okay, maybe I'm being... Here, look at this. So this is how many likes it got. 0 comments because the comments are turned off. I don't know why she turned off the comments. But I can't imagine how many views this got. Where are the views? Where are the view numbers? But this is the number of likes it got. Isn't that insane? Oh, when I go to her profile, you can see, why is TikTok so stupid? Why does it not show me which video is that? Oh, here. No, that's not it. Oh, 3 million. 3.4 million views. That's how viral this video got. Look at what we're dealing, guys. You need to make sure you like this stream on YouTube. If you're watching this on Twitter, which a lot of you are, you need to come to Atheist Republic YouTube channel and you need to like the stream and subscribe to the channel, right? Because look at what we're dealing with. Look how popular this got. Anyways, let's go to which one? Which video? Let's go to this one.
Parallels.
Let me remove that one. Let me see Dolly's explanation of this video. So this is video number, I marked it as video number 3. Okay. So Dolly's explanation for this video is anti-Israel person claiming there is parallels between Israel and Germany. Wow. Wow. Okay. This is a very famous TikTok account now these days. So let me show you the account so we could know who we're dealing with. This is the the name of the account is Your Favorite Guy, and this guy has becoming very, very popular by making anti-Israeli videos. This guy is getting a lot of views. This video specifically got 171,000 likes. This video that we're about to review. And again, I don't know if I could see the number of views it got. Look at how popular. Oh, is it this one? Oh yeah. So 500,000 views this one got. 500,000 views. So let's see what the point is. And then we will go through it once from beginning to end. And then we'll watch it. Guys, while we're watching this, make sure if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you give this video a like, okay? The stream a like. So let's see what this person has to say.
The more I've learned about Zionist Israel, the more parallels I've seen between it and World War II Germany. So in this video, I'll be going over those parallels that I've discovered between Israel and Germany. First off, we have the Prime Minister of Israel tweeting out that Israelis are the children of light in a struggle against the children of darkness, which is almost word for what German soldiers were taught to believe. Schutzstaffel Commander Wolf says that the men of the Schutzstaffel were subtly conditioned to see themselves as the sons of light, that they were engaged in a struggle against the powers of darkness. Kristallnacht, or the Night of the Broken Glass, was a horrifying slaughter of the Jews in Germany, and it was the beginning of the end. The Nakba of 1948, when Jewish militias slaughtered Palestinians and forced thousands to flee, was also the beginning of the end for the Palestinians, to their land being stolen and them being oppressed. World War II Germany demolished Jewish homes, especially during the Night of the Broken Glass, when in numerous places there were hundreds of homes destroyed. This reminds me of the demolishing of Palestinian homes in the West Bank. Citizenship law in Germany only allowed those with German or related blood to be granted citizenship. Israel's law of return only grants those with Jewish blood to become citizens and be granted citizenship, not those driven out by the Nakba in exile who are refugees who want to come back to their land. Theodor Herzl, the founder of Zionism in 1895, wrote in his diary that in the...
By the way, because I don't want to just continue playing this without interruption, because if we do that, we might get a strike or something. This might be a good time for me to show you that we've been demonetized. Actually, we have been demonetized for a while, but I'm going to submit a review, which is going to take a couple of days probably. But just want to know, it's gone. Our monetization is gone. So make sure you like the stream. If you want to help us with super chats, that to make up for the demonetization, that would be very helpful. But at least make sure you like the stream, because when we get demonetized, we also get deprioritized, and that means we get less views. So help us get more views by liking the stream. Anyways, let's go back to this guy.
We shall try to spirit the penniless population across the border while denying it employment in our country. The removal of the poor must be carried out discreetly and circumspectly. We are not going to sell them anything. Basically, the original plan was to expel the Palestinians by not giving them business in their own land.
Okay, I can't watch the whole thing without responding to it. Let's go from the beginning and respond to all of this one by one. Okay, but here's the thing: if you want to compare Israel right now with Germany during World War II, let's see if you could find anything equivalent to the Holocaust, maybe. Because if you can't, that was the main thing. Or also, there's two things that you need to find for me, because if you don't, you're stretching it, right? You're really stretching it. The main two things that we could make us consider Nazi Germany to be evil, right? One is the Holocaust. Actually, three. Let's see. Okay, then the racism, the outright direct racism, especially against Jews, but not just against Jews, but the discrimination, let me just say, against the Jews, LGBT people, handicapped people, and people of other ethnicities and political, and also political defense, so dissent. So that's number 2. And number 3, I would say the invasion of your neighboring countries unprovoked, right? So going in and invading your neighboring countries. So those are the 3 things that, I mean, if they did not do these 3 things, back then they would be kind of considered like many other countries. But these are the things that makes us think like, yeah, those people were evil, right? So I'm hoping, because if you're like, oh yeah, Nazis drank water and they drink water, if you could find things that are similar in other ways, or maybe things that are wrong even, but there are lesser things that we think of when we think the evilness of Nazis at that time, then you're being dishonest. So if you want to show me the similarity between Germany's government back during World War II and Israel, I'm looking for that. Those are the things that you have to show me, or else you're being dishonest. So let's go from the beginning and let's see what the examples you have for me.
The more I've learned about Zionist Israel, the more parallels I've seen between it and World War II Germany. So in this video, I'll be going over those parallels that I've discovered between Israel and Germany. First off, we have the Prime Minister of Israel tweeting out that Israelis are the children of light in a struggle against the children of darkness.
Okay, how is that? Okay, let's see. You're saying that's similar to what?
Which is almost word for word for what German soldiers were taught to believe. Schutzstaffel Commander Wolf says that the men of the Schutzstaffel were subtly conditioned to see themselves as the sons of light, that they were engaged in a struggle against the powers of darkness.
I don't understand. So you can't say that we're good and our enemy is bad just because the Nazis said so?
After the Night of the Broken Glass was a horrifying slaughter of the Jews in Germany, and it was the beginning of the end. The Nakba of 1940.
Okay, so that's the second comparison. I don't understand. Because evil people consider themselves to be good and their enemies to be bad, then nobody could frame any war like that. I mean, don't you also frame your activism against Israel as you good, them bad? I mean, doesn't everybody doesn't everyone do that? Like, you do that. Everyone does. Like, what's the point of doing anything against any movement or against any action unless you think you're on the good side and they're on the bad side? This is so dumb. This is as dumb as saying, well, Nazis drink water and Zionists drink water, so potato. I mean, the problems that we have with Nazis is that they're essentializing it. You know, they're saying that when they consider themselves good and they bad, they are referring to races of people, like ethnicities. But this tweet, again, the Prime Minister of Israel, I don't support this guy, all right? I don't support anything from Netanyahu. Well, I don't support most things from Netanyahu or the Likud party or the other 2 far-right parties that they have right now in the government. But I don't see the problem with this specific tweet. You are saying we're good, they're bad. Every army thinks, I mean, I hope you think that if you're shooting at people, I hope you don't think that you're killing good people on purpose. I mean, what the hell? What's wrong with it? Guys, am I missing something here? Is he saying because Nazis thought that they're good and their enemies was bad? Anybody who thinks that is like Nazis, but your videos is against Israel. So you think that you're good and they are bad. Aren't you like Nazis by this argument? Am I missing something here? Oh my God. I mean, are you going to say this about the Palestinians? You know what? Actually, now that I think about it, if you go look in Gaza, the people who say we are good and they are bad, and by they are referring to a certain ethnicity, because when the Nazis, when they're saying we're good and they are bad, they made it very clear about the fact that they and us are referring to ethnicities of people, right? I don't see from this specific tweet by the Prime Minister that he is saying that. He might be thinking that, but I don't know. I'm not seeing it in this tweet. I don't know what you're saying, but I do see it from a lot of people in Gaza when they're saying that our enemies are the side of darkness and we are on the side of light. They are referring to ethnicities or religions. But definitely when they say Jews, they're referring to ethnicities. They have literal hadith. Maybe I should bring this up, because what is more Nazi-like? That tweet or the hadith of Muslims saying that there will come a time where Muslims will be chasing Jews. Again, not my views, YouTube, to slaughter them. And they will be hiding behind rocks and trees. And there will be an Islamic miracle where these rocks and trees will be speaking out, saying to the Muslims, oh, there's a Jew hiding behind me. Jew referring to ethnicities. Isn't that more Nazi-like? I mean, between these two sides, which narrative is closer to the Nazi? Is this the worst you could find? Because this sounds like a defense of the other side. You went and you dug. And when it comes to narratives that looks like the Nazis, this is the worst you could find? I mean, I could find worse from Israel. Because guess what? I'm not whitewashing everything from Israel. I'm defending Israel, but just like every other country, they have fascists. Every country has some fascist in there. So if I wanted to be anti-Israel, I would be able to do it better than you, because I would be able to go find some actual narratives that sounds more fascistic. This is the best you could do. Do you know, if I go to Gaza, I will be able to find much better talking points that are closer to Nazi talking points? I don't even have to go to Gaza. I could just look at the scripture that they believe in. Should I bring this to you? Okay, I don't know. How fast? You want Nazi-like talking points? Oh my God, you guys are in. This is so easy. This is so easy. Why do I have to do this? Why is their spread of nonsense spreading like wildfire, even though it's so obviously nonsense? And my response that should be like, guys, they're not even trying hard enough. They're making my job so easy. Make sure people see these responses. I'm yelling so much, I'm losing my voice. Oh my God, this was so easy to find. This was so easy to find. Let me just show you the Sahih ones. Let me actually see. This is Sahih. This one is not Sahih. This is Sahih. This is Sahih. Okay, guys, these are authentic, the highest authoritative Islamic hadith that you could find. These Islamic hadith that I'm showing you is second only to the Quran. You can't get more Islamic than this. So when it says that Allah's apostle, that means Muhammad, right? So it's saying that Muhammad said, the hour will not be established until you fight with the Jews. And the stone behind which the Jew will be hiding will say, oh, Muslim, there's a Jew hiding behind me, so kill him. Tell me, what narrative? Was that tweet that you showed me more like Nazis, or these hadiths that is part of Islamic teaching? Where you know what this means? Do you know what they're trying to say with this hadith? And again, it's not just one. Here, there's another one. Allah's apostle said, you Muslims will fight with the Jews until some of them will hide behind stones. The stones will betray them, saying, oh Abdullah, oh slave of Allah, there is a Jew hiding behind me, so kill him. Do you know why they mention rocks and trees? Do you guys understand? It's not. There's a purpose behind mentioning rocks and trees. Let me know in the live chat if you understand what's happening here. Why would rocks and trees speak out and tell Muslims that come, there's a Jew hiding behind me? Look, it continues. There's more hadiths, and these are sahih. These are all sahih. No, it's not because of that. See, it keeps going. This is not just one sahih hadith. There's many sahih hadiths just saying, you will fight against the Jews and you will kill them until even a stone will say, come here, Muslim. There's a Jew hiding himself behind me. Kill him. Explain it to me. Somebody. I want to know if you guys understand what's happening here.
Now, that is real.
Yes! D got it. It's the natural order of things. That nature itself is anti-Jewish. They're saying that it's part of nature to be anti-Jewish. That's the claim here. Do you understand? That's the claim that is being made here. Is that not evil?
Or the children.
Oh, thank you so much for the super chat. HD Drake saying, Sons of Light versus Sons of Darkness comes from the Dead Sea Scrolls. Yeah, and I personally don't like using religious language in war. I'm against that. I don't like Netanyahu using religious references at the times of war. I think those makes things more problematic, right? However, it's not even comparable. I will criticize Netanyahu because of this tweet, but this is by far less problematic than the things that I showed you. Narratives that you could go and find in Gaza are so much worse than this. So much worse than this. Anyways, let's continue.
Children of light in a struggle against the children of darkness, which is almost word for word for what German soldiers were taught to believe. Schutzstaffel Commander Wolf says that the men.
German soldiers also took shit. And I think IDF soldiers also do that. So, hey, wow, so much similarities. Wow.
Of the Schutzstaffel were subtly conditioned to see themselves as the sons of light, that they were engaged in a struggle against the powers of darkness. Kristallnacht, or the Night of the Broken Glass, was a horrifying slaughter of the Jews in Germany, and it was the beginning of the end. The Nakba of 1948, when Jewish militias slaughtered Palestinians and forced thousands to flee, was also the beginning of the end for the Palestinians, to their land being stolen and them being oppressed. World War II.
We live in the opposite world, guys. What are you talking about? The Palestinians were offered a country. Nobody was taking that away from them until Arab countries attacked Israel. Why are you not mentioning that part? They were offered a country. They did not take it. Guys, tell me in the live chat, why did they not accept the country that was given to them? Imagine how much more peace there would be right now. Imagine the lives of Palestinians right now if they accepted the country that was being given to them. Palestine was never a country. A country was being offered to them. They said no. Why? They said no. Neighboring Arab countries said no. And they attacked. And that's what started the Nakba. The Israeli side did not start that. The Arabs were leaving because of the war that the Arab countries started. Why did the Arabs said no to the offer of the country that was being given to them? The United Nations were like, here's the best lands. Let's cut this in two pieces. Give the best parts to the Arabs, and the worst parts to the Jews. The Arabs said no. The reason they said no is because we don't accept having a country if the Jews get to have a country as well. Not as long as The Jews are here. We want all of it. Even though there is enough land for everybody, even though there's empty land that no one is settling on, and even though this would have been a win-win for everyone, we say no because they're Jews. I tell you this, if they were coming from other places and they were Arab or Muslim, they would say like, welcome in. But they were Jews. They were Jews. That was the problem. So they said no. No, because it's all or nothing. And they got nothing. If you want to find the Nazi side in this deal, in this war, in the Nakba, it's the Arab side, the Arab countryside that is more comparable to the Nazis. They invaded Israel, and a country recognized by the United Nations at that time, because they were Jews. What does that sound like? That's the one that sounds like the Nazis. The Jews weren't against Palestine being a country right next to them. The Arabs back then were against Israel being a country next to them because they were Jews. That is the Nazi-like side.
To Germany demolished Jewish homes, especially during the Night of the Broken Glass, when in numerous places there were hundreds of homes destroyed. This reminds me of the demolishing of Palestinian homes in the West Bank. Citizenship law in Germany.
Oh yeah, the West Bank. Okay, so yeah, I have criticism for the West Bank, right? I have criticism for what's happening in the West Bank. A lot of criticism. Way more than you guys before any of this happened. Okay? But it's not Nazi-like, you freaking moron. Not everything that is wrong is like Nazi-like. What's happening to Jewish people? What happened to Jewish people on October 7th? That's Nazi-like. Come on, that's Nazi-like.
Only allowed those with German or related blood to be granted citizenship. Israel's law of return.
Oh yeah, let's look at the law of return. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. The law of return. Okay, look at this.
Citizenship law in Germany only allowed those with German or related blood to be granted citizenship. Israel's law of return only grants those with Jewish blood to become citizens and be granted citizenship. Not those driven out by the Nakba in exile who are refugees who want to come back to their land. Theodore Herzl.
Okay, I'm going to do this one. And because I'm going to respond to this one, because I don't know, we will do the rest of this video on another stream, but I need to respond to this one before we end the stream. Okay? That is such a horrible thing. By the way, before I respond to this, I need you, all of you to like the stream on YouTube, on Atheist. If you're watching on Twitter, I want you to hop over on YouTube, okay? And like the stream. And if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you like the stream right now. But let me respond to this. What a dishonest take. Is this guy stupid or evil? I don't know. Tell me if this guy is evil, because this is so obviously not comparable. Did the Jews under Nazi Germany were given equal rights to other citizens of the country? Let me tell you what would have been comparable. Okay, so he's saying that in Nazi Germany. Okay, let's listen to it one more time, because I want to make sure I show you how dishonest this person is being. Okay?
Germany only allowed those with German or related blood to be granted citizenship. Israel's law of return only grants those with Jewish blood to become citizens and be.
Okay. Germany said whoever has German blood, they could be citizens. And he says because Israel only allows people with Jewish blood to come back to Israel and become citizens, these are equal. Let me tell you what would have actually made it equal. Imagine Hitler was saying this instead, right? Obviously, we respect our Jewish citizens. Imagine Hitler saying that. And whoever is a Jew and a German citizen right now, they will have equal rights to all other German citizens. Imagine Hitler saying that. However, on the other side, we have equal, for people who are citizens, they enjoy equal rights. Obviously, we don't discriminate against Jews. We love our Jewish citizens. But given that Aryans are being discriminated against, okay, I'm not saying this, but imagine if they were. Imagine that globally there was this anti-Aryan hatred and they were being hunted down, right? And it's saying that we're not discriminating against other people. We're responding to the discrimination against Aryans all around the world. They're being hunted down around the world. So we are providing them citizenship to Germany as a way to protect them against this global hatred. Okay. That would make it comparable. That would make it comparable. In a world where Aryans are constantly being hunted down everywhere they go. Like there is like people are like looking for Aryans and discriminating against them, committing violence against them, giving them, different rights, pushing them aside, intimidating them. There's scripture against them. If they go to Russia and Islamic countries, in the United States, in Europe, everywhere they go, they're hunting down Aryans, right? And then there's a country like Germany that was like, citizens enjoy equal rights. If you're Arab, if you're Jewish, if you're Black, if you're Aryan, we don't care. Once you're a German citizen, you enjoy equal rights. But we want to protect our fellow Aryans, right, against this global discrimination that is against them. That's why we're fast tracking their citizenship into this country. We're like, yeah, okay, that's not discrimination. That is a response to a discrimination, right? So, for example, if there is a discrimination against Yazidis, for example, we want to go protect them. Specifically, we want to go protect them. Let's say, for example, there is a discrimination. We don't even need to assume this. There is anti-Christian discrimination in Muslim countries, right? So if they want to become a citizen of your country, they're like, okay, Christians get priority from Islamic countries. Or LGBT. Oh, actually, here's a good example. LGBT people, right? If you are LGBT and you want to come to our country and you're coming from an Islamic country, given the level of hatred that exists against LGBT people in Islamic countries, we will give you a fast track towards a refugee status or permanent residentship or citizenship, any one of these. People will understand. Liberal-minded people will understand why LGBT people are being put on a fast track to any of these three, given their status in Islamic countries. Because we're not giving a certain privilege to LGBT people. We're not doing a discrimination against straight people. Imagine if people consider that to be discrimination against straight people. Let's say like somebody was gay and they lived in an Islamic country and they are coming to your country filing for asylum. And they say like, hey, I'm gay from an Islamic country. This is why I need a refugee status in your country. And you said like, oh, that would be anti-straight discrimination. What are you talking about? You are responding to a discrimination that exists against LGBT people. You are protecting people who are being discriminated against. So if you're trying to say that a country is apartheid or they're discriminating against a group of people, you have to understand that equal rights, when you are asking for equal rights applies to your citizens. When somebody is a Jew and not a citizen of Israel yet, you could have positive discrimination for them if you are responding to a negative discrimination. Israel would have been comparable to Nazi Germany only if they were going around. You have 20% of the population of Israel is Arab. The comparison would be made sense if they were being rounded up, put on trains. The 20% of Arabs of Israel, last time I checked, look how far it is. Because there's a lot of options in the middle, right? There's a long distance between Israel gathering all the 20% Arabs of Israel, putting them on trains, and sending them to a concentration camp to eventually be killed for forced labor and eventually be killed. That would have been, but not only we don't get that, we don't get anything even remotely close to that. We even get complete equal rights. We don't even get, we get even more than complete equal rights. We get privileges for Arabs in Israel that Jews don't enjoy. Arab citizens of Israel don't have to serve in the military. The Jews don't. How is that comparable to Nazi Germany? Imagine if Hitler was like, well, obviously we're not going to ask the Jews to fight in the military. That would be unfair after everything that has happened to them. What world do you live in? No, somebody's saying there is no genocide. There is genocide happening right now on Jewish people, on Israelis. Let's be fair, on Israelis. Because even the Arabs are being genocided as long as you're Israeli. Do you understand how different what he's describing is to the real world? Anyways, we're getting over time, so I'm going to read the super chats that Dolly is highlighting. Thank you so much, Dolly. You're being amazing help. So HD Drake is saying, Italy allows people with any provable Italian blood to become permanent residents of Italy. Other countries have such immigration laws. Why is Israel being singled out? Exactly. Thank you. I mean, let's say that is wrong. Okay? Let's say Italy shouldn't do that. Let's say this is a wrong policy. It's one thing to call it a wrong policy. It's another thing to say, oh, like this is like Nazi Germany. Are you serious? Who in their right mind would say like, oh, Italy? I could see some people like, Italy, maybe you shouldn't do that. Maybe that's not a good draw. I could say like, okay, some people have criticism. But people would not say Italy is being like Nazi Germany. Why? Why the double standard? Why Israel is being compared to Nazi Germany and not Italy? It's because they're Jews. I'm telling you, there's no other reason. We have excluded, we have isolated, we have eliminated all other options. It's because of the level of anti-Jewish hatred that exists in the world. Thank you, Dolly. Dolly, another super chat by Bar. Thank you so much, saying Arab Israelis will disagree with him. Yes, exactly. Arab Israelis are becoming more and more loyal to Israel, and more because of they see the level of dishonesty that exists against what's happening in Israel right now. I showed you reports that Arab Israelis are feeling more Israeli day by day. Okay, guys, imagine this. After October 7th and the level of attack, the global attacks on Israel, Arab Israelis became more loyal to Israel. They felt more Israeli than before. They came out in stronger defense of Israel compared to before. And imagine comparing the Arabs, their experience under Israel, to Jews under Nazi Germany. Unbelievable. Here's the thing. Here's how different this is. Here's how different what he's saying is compared to the real world. There is no better place in the Middle East and North Africa to be Arab than Israel. You are lucky. There is no Islamic country and no Arab country provides more rights and freedoms to you as an Arab than what Israel does. I kid you not. When it comes to rights and freedoms, Arabs enjoy more rights and freedoms in Israel than Arabs in Arab countries. Look at what the look at the Arabs that were left in Israel. Imagine if the Arab countries did not attack Israel on day one after its foundation. All the Arabs that had to leave Israel, look at the crime that you committed against them. Look at their lives compared to the Arabs that stayed in Israel. Arabs that stayed in Israel are better off than all other Arabs in that region. Imagine saying that about Nazi Germany. Imagine Nazi Germany, Jews living in Nazi Germany can you say that about them? Were Jews living in Germany lucky to live in Germany? Can you say that? Because I can say that Arabs that live in Israel are lucky to be able to be Israeli citizens. Can you say that about Jews in Germany? Unbelievable. Thank you so much, Rachel, for this $10 super chat saying, thank you for speaking the truth and standing up for humanity. Well, thank you so much. That's very kind. That makes me motivated to continue doing this. Anyways, we're already over an hour, and I have another show to get to. For you who don't know, I also do a show in Persian for mostly an Iranian audience on a channel, Atheist Republic in Persian, which is called Jumhuriye Bi Khodayan. So if you speak Persian, hop over there. But don't you dare leave without liking the stream. Okay? I spent an hour talking for you. You could spend 1 second liking the stream. So make sure you do that right now. And after the stream is over, leave a comment. The comments really help grow the channel. And make sure you subscribe. But that's not enough. You have to make sure also that you have hit the bell icon. Okay? Because when you subscribe, YouTube does not tell you when I go live. You have to hit the bell notification for it to notify you that I'm live. And also, another free way to support us. These are all free. Oh my God, guys. Clicking the like button doesn't cost you anything. Subscribe is free. Notification is free. Leaving a comment is free. Here's another free way that you can support this channel without spending any money. Go tell people to come subscribe to the channel. This channel needs to grow. There's too much nonsense that is being left without a response. This requires a response. All of this nonsense requires a response. We are the response. So make this channel grow. Go tell people. Go tell your friends and your enemies to come and subscribe to Atheist Republic on YouTube. Do it now. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for liking, and see you on the next stream. Bye.